Neck injury-plagued Enho is out for the 6th full tournament straight. We still haven't seen him since this bout with Takakento in May of last year. Of concern this time was that unlike in January and in March, he fought no practice bouts pre-meet. He still thought about competing but was talked out of doing so by sumo doctors and his own neck specialist. He will now drop to Division 6 for July, by which time he'll have gone a full year without pay. Very concerning indeed when you consider he moved into a brand new, i.e. not cheap, apartment in 2022. As I mentioned before, it seems he was one win away from securing elder stock last May. And given that so many sumo criteria are flexible, Ozeki and Yokozuna promotions and special prizes to name but some, can't they just let Enho off that one win and qualify him for elder stock now? It would seem the humane thing to do. Also in the midst of injury woes is young Takerufuji, who's the first new champion since the late Akebono in 1992 to sit out the following meet. That will cost him his top-tier status, sumo chiefs have confirmed, and although his natural ability should see him bounce back up, the talk behind the scenes is that he desperately needs to strengthen his legs. There's quite an imbalance between upper and lower body, says one sumo reporter. His antelope-like legs seem delicate compared to his highly ripped torso, and might well be injury-prone in their struggle to support his frame. It's also been disclosed Takeru ruptured his left ACL twice while at Johoku High, and also injured his right knee at Nihon University. He has so far tried to avoid repeats by piling up on the weights room sessions. But his coaches, and notably Terunofuji, have not so gently nudged him towards more traditional sumo training to deliver more supple muscles. Now, as ruled-out wrestlers cannot attend the ring purification event, Takerufuji could therefore not pose with his first-ever title portrait this morning. His master did the honours for him, alongside star pupil Terunofuji, there to receive his own January portrait. "I'm delighted to be here next to my master," he said, sounding most unlike a man who thinks he'll be doing this much longer. On the upcoming tournament, he added, "It's the moment of truth. I've just got to do all I can as well as I can. It's a battle against the self." Which begins, as you've doubtless heard, with a match against Onosato, set to evoke a changing of the sumo guard. And asked about his chances of a defining 10th Emperor's Cup, Terunofuji said, "I guess that would be my dream outcome, if I can possibly get there." More like a farewell message perhaps than a hyper-confident pre-meet speech. Onosato for his part is coming in more than prepared. "Once I reached Komusubi West, everyone started telling me, 'That means you'll be fighting Terunofuji on the opening day,'" he said. "So I've seen this coming from some way off." The two were presumably slated to clash at All Stables practice last week, only for Terunofuji to pull out mid-session. Their only meeting outside of a tournament has so far been this one here, for which Onosato says he's grateful. "And having toppled 4 Saiyaku men in March, I'm clearly progressing in my own way," Sato adds. Should this awesome 23-year-old capture the Emperor's Cup this time, he'll be the first Komusubi to do so since Takakeisho in 2018, and the first new Komusubi to do so since Annen Yama in 1957. The title is no longer a dream, but an aim, Onosato now says. It's been announced, by the way, that Judge Oshima will be sitting out the full 15 this time due to feeling unwell. That's a particular shame, as he'd been greatly praised in the press this week for helping to clear a traffic jam on the day of Onosato's basting in Urayasu. 4 hours after this was filmed, did the car park grind to a standstill due to laughably inadequate exit routes, leading right onto a busy main road where nobody stops to let cars out. Coach Oshima sprang out of his own car to yell for exit gates leading into side streets to be opened, and the jam was apparently cleared. And finally, this weekend marks exactly 1 year since Kensho Sawada posted this on his X. The start of this YouTube channel's Retired Wrestlers Support Project. We continue to wish Mr. Sawada the fullest of healthy recoveries. After his interview, we got Chiyotairyu to talk. Who hasn't in YouTube circles? And we donated to the retirement ceremony of 28-year ring veteran Kainowaka. Now, since then, with your kind donations, I've also had dinner at Chiyotairyu's restaurant, bought 2 bottles of wine from Tochinoshin, bought dinner for Meisei and Kiryuko while boosting sales at the retired Taichiyama's shop, bought tickets for 2 talk show events hosted by ex-Toyonoshima, and attended the retirement event of the ex-Ichinojo. And in ongoing terms, every 2 months I do something with Kainowaka and his various sumo friends. So clearly a bit of project success. Retired wrestlers are being helped. What I've failed on, though, as you've doubtless noticed, is getting wrestler interviews. And for that, I'm very sorry. The guys flashing up on your screen right now are the ones I've approached in the past 12 months. Some of them got back to me, others never did. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise. I'm not a recognized company, I'm not a retired wrestler myself, and I'm certainly not in their inner circle. And in these days of record-breaking sumo tourism, I'm also fighting against the image of the foreigner they are most likely to meet. Someone who doesn't live in Japan, doesn't speak fluent Japanese, and is only casually interested in them. 俺そういう外人じゃねえよ. Of course, if I get any interviews, you will certainly see them on here.